Go.
I am joined now by Lanny Davis. He is, of course, the former attorney and close friend of Michael Cohen. Lanny Davis, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
So perhaps let's just start out. Obviously, we're starting to hear some closing arguments in the hush money trial. Your now former client, Michael Cohen, was obviously the star witness in this case. As we are kind of closing out as it relates to this case, where do you think things ultimately stand for Michael Cohen?
Well, I think it's a very good chance that he can be acquitted, but I don't second guess juries. I respect juries. If he's acquitted or if it's a hung jury, I won't declare anything other than to accept the jury verdict, exactly the opposite of Donald Trump.
And I guess speaking from a comparative standpoint here, obviously you've been involved in kind of the legal realm for a very long time as it relates to a large many number of different cases. This is obviously very historic, though, the fact that a former president who is now running for elected office as well is involved. Obviously, we hear a lot of analysis as to what it means from a political standpoint, but what about from a legal standpoint? And again, kind of the unprecedented nature of what's happening here.
Well, here's a headline that nobody, and I mean nobody, has said other than me. And now I'm going to say it better than ever before. This jury does not need to believe Michael Cohen to convict Donald Trump of 34 felonies beyond a reasonable doubt. And let me explain why. Ready?
You bet. Go for it.
There are two questions facing the jury. They're fact questions. Only a jury can decide beyond a reasonable doubt, overcoming the presumption of innocence to which Mr. Trump is entitled under the rule of law, which by his own words, he doesn't believe because he wants to be a dictator, at least for one day. So here are the two questions. Question one, did Donald Trump have a political motivation in authorizing or ordering the payment of $130,000 by Michael Cohen so it wouldn't be traceable to him? Did he have political motivation? This jury can decide unanimously, beyond a reasonable doubt, without relying on Michael Cohen, that he did. His best friend witness at the National Enquirer, David Pecker, said most certainly that the money about Stormy Daniels, who first approached the National Enquirer, was politically motivated. That's David Pecker who said it. Hope Hicks, one of the closest aides to Donald Trump, said it was about the campaign. She never said it was about his being a faithful husband. Are there really Trump voters who think that he's a faithful husband? Doesn't matter. His own witnesses said he had political motivation, serious political motivation. That makes it a crime. Do you know why we know it's a crime? Because Michael Cohen served the time for that crime, according to federal prosecutors who worked for, guess who? Donald Trump. So we know it's a crime. That's over. You don't need Michael Cohen on issue number one. Issue number two, did Donald Trump believe that he was paying legal fees when he wrote checks out for $35,000 a month from his personal checking account while he was a sitting president? He wrote 10 of those checks out. 2 of them were written by his trust. Did he believe those checks were legal fees? Or did he believe he was reimbursing, that's the key word, reimbursing Michael Cohen for the illegal money that I've already said that federal prosecutors said was illegal, which sent him to prison, at least in part. So, question, did Trump lie when he said he thought they were legal fees? This jury, beyond a reasonable doubt, can conclude that he's lying. I know, shocking to say that about Donald Trump. He said he would testify. He didn't say maybe. He didn't say if. He said he would testify. Guess what? He lied. Well, he lied when he said they were about legal fees. And you know who proves that? Not Michael Cohen. The closest person to Donald Trump in the entire organization, who's in jail to prove how close he is, because he refused to testify, then he refused to tell the truth, and now he's at Rikers Island. His name, Alan Weisselberg. And what did Alan Weisselberg speak without having to take the witness stand? With his own handwriting that was authenticated. That is evidence in front of the jury. He wrote out a number of numbers, including $130,000 in his own handwriting. He doubled those numbers so that they would be income taxes that Michael Cohen would be allowed to receive. So the payment that he made was doubled, so he's now made whole. And what was the total in his own handwriting on a piece of paper, part of the evidence? $420,000 divided by 12, as he wrote. And that equals, guess what? Voila, $35,000. That's where the $35,000 a month of checks that Donald Trump wrote. Were they legal fees? No.